guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. Today we're going to take a look at Ribrianne. So INT Ribrianne got an EZA, and I think this INT Ribrianne is actually going to be a pretty good unit. The only thing for Ribrianne, though, is in order for her to be really great, she does need, like, all these categories, right? Like, Ribrianne basically has to be on a Peppy Gal team, right? In order to utilize her maximum power. So when Peppy Gals gets like a proper leader, right? One of these 200% leaders, Ribrianne can be really good. And we just saw it with Gamma 1 and 2, right? Both Gamma 1 and 2 lead movie heroes, right? So already just from that category, they have a good team. But then they also are, you know, they have special pose, artificial life form, androids, these sort of like lower level teams getting these leader skills so they can be acclimated on a very good team. Ribrianne can get that and be solid at some point in the future. I feel like this Ribrianne is going to be very decent moving forward, right? Let's go ahead and give her a sticker. Remember that Ribrianne is a turn 1 transformation character. There's a few of these in the game. I really would not mind if they would do this a little bit more often. I feel like this turn 1 type of transformation could really work out very well, right? But alright, let's go ahead and hop in. Dude, her sticker looks a lot better in base, which you never even see. Let's go ahead and hop into an event, see how effective she could be. Again, to properly utilize her, she has to be on a full Peppy Gal team, so hopefully Peppy Gals can get like a proper leader. Maybe a Dokkan Fest Bulma or Android 18 or something like that could be a 200% leader. Maybe. Alright guys, we are here in an event. So our girl Ribrianne will go ahead and transform turn 1. Remember, this is, of course, what she does, you know, like, as soon as the battle starts, she will instantly transform. Now, how good is this Ribrianne going to be? On a full Peppy Gal team, I think she'll be fairly solid, right? So she is stacking attack and defense on her super attack effect, which is good. And she also seals, which can be helpful. She gets, what, 140% attack and defense start a turn. She gets another 20% attack and defense in all enemies, minus 10% attack and defense per Peppy Gal category ally in the team. And that minus goes up to 30%. So that's a negative 30% debuff, which, you know, if you can attack down an enemy, that's very strong. Minus 30% is a huge number. All the toughest bosses in the game are immune to that. But, you know, again, like Super Battle Road or Battlefield, she could crush with that. You could use Peppy Gals as a team in Dokkan Battlefield and very easily beat these toughest bosses. Like right now, the hardest boss is Broly on JP. Peppy Gals obliterates him. I probably should do a video on that. I might do a video on that in the next couple of days, actually, just destroying Broly with Peppy Gals. I remember doing that a couple of years ago when some of these characters first showed up. It was against Jiren, the Battlefield boss Jiren, and I was destroying him with Peppy Gals. This Peppy Gal team could do the same against Broly, right? Then Ribrianne is also giving Peppy Gal category allies 2-key 30% attack and defense. Then she gets a guaranteed additional as a medium chance of being a super if the enemy's attack down or defensive down, which she naturally does. And then she also has a guaranteed additional as a medium chance of being a super if the enemy is stunned or sealed. So I actually probably want to head into like the Super Saiyan 3 Broly Dokkan event, right? And then we could have Ribrianne like quad super attack. We might just do a turn or two, and then I think I'm actually probably going to go ahead and do that. With a little bit of the updated friend system, it's a little bit easier to use some of these teams, right? Like Videl is not super common on the friends list, but with the change they made to the friend system, it's not really as hard finding the characters you want to find, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and see. Oh, by the way, Ribrianne with Cocoon-san Rosie, we do have the full same link set, right? So Ribrianne's link set, Battlefield Diva, Metamorphosis, The Innocence, Signature Pose, More Than Meets the Eye, Tournament of Power, and Shattering the Limit. So her link set is not, like, the craziest. I mean, Metamorphosis is really strong. Ribrianne is on Transformation Boost, right? I mean, we'll see. Transformation Boost, that's going to be a really interesting 200% leader skill when eventually we do get one of those. I am going to be so excited to see what that's going to look like. All right, there's 2. Okay, we did get the guaranteed additional from her passive, but we did not get the Hidden Potential System additional, did not trigger there, right? We can tell, because, remember, Ribrianne, Goku's defense was lowered. Ribrianne was just passively lowering his defense, right? But, like, that's it. Ribrianne, I mean, I guess there's not really too much more for me to say or show here, right? Like, she's just a character that she will stack up. She's supporting the entire rotation. She's debuffing the enemy. And then depending upon which type of fight it is, she can do a bunch of additionals to stack up even faster, right? So we could see Ribrianne get to very, very good stats. But the way she operates, right? No matter what, I guess, one Peppy Gal unit on the team herself, she'd debuff the enemy by 10% attack and defense for like a super battle road fight. So maybe she could be solid, right? In like transformation boost, extreme super battle road or something like that. But she does get this additional 20% attack and defense per Peppy Gal category ally in the team. And there's no cap to that, right? So, you know, all 7 Peppy Gals are going to give her 20% attack and defense. Ribrianne at the moment is, you know, every once in a while they'll do this. They'll drop like a very decent, solid option for one of these teams that we can't properly utilize yet. And that's Ribrianne. I do think this unit is pretty good. She's doing a lot. We just can't, like, effectively, like, Peppy Gals, like, you probably could beat, it's just Videl. You probably could beat all these red zone fights with Peppy Gals, maybe except for Broly since he cancels dodge. I don't, it's like, because Videl is just too, I guess if you're going super slow, if you have double Ribrianne's leader skill, she gives 150% of stats. That could be a decent challenge run. What are the leaders for Peppy Gals? There's a lot, right? Okay, leader characters for Peppy Gals, right? There's actually 1,000 here. There's Videl, Int Ribrianne, Tech Kawaii. There's also Fasha, Tech Caulifla, STR Kale. I feel like Peppy Gals could beat Broly. You just need some good luck. You could get away with running Tech Caulifla and STR Kale against Broly. But, again, Caulifla doesn't dodge, but she does stack up. I don't know. Would she stack up fast enough, though? Which STR Kale would be so good, but I don't know which I guess then you run the Tech Kale and Caulifla with STR Kale, right? You could have Int Ribrianne. It would be real. You would need such crazy luck because you can't dodge. That's what makes Red Zone Broly just so toxic, is canceling the ability to dodge, right? Because that really hurts Videl. Videl is a character that needs to dodge in order to be super powerful, right? And we just don't have access to that right now. All right, so Ribrianne is at 371 already, dude. This is her second turn. Okay. So it does seem like she can build up fairly fast here. I mean, we are overloaded in support, sure, but that's the way the Peppy Gal team is, right? Like, yeah, you're going to be overloaded in support constantly. Like, a lot of these Peppy Gal characters are just supporting each other in that way, right? All right, normal. Damn, we're not getting any additionals, even though I get she has full additional in the hidden potential system. You know, whatever. Let's just go into like the Super Saiyan 3 Broly Dokkan event, and like we could stun him, we could seal him, we could do all that. So Ribrianne could hopefully be just, you know, shooting out 4 super attacks for us and stuff like that. Let's do that. Let's head over there. All right, here we go. Transforming with our girl Ribrianne. Let's see if we can't get her to get several super attacks here, right? Like, that's kind of the point. Okay, so we'll have her with Chi-Chi as well. Remember that Chi-Chi is such a massive, like, character in terms of the support. You know, Chi-Chi gives, what is it, 50% support to all allies, right? The defensive support. But then if it's Peppy Gal, they get the extra 70%, which really can be quite substantial. I believe Chi-Chi seals as well. So Broly will be sealed, and he's debuffed again just by Ribrianne being on rotation right here. So we should be able to get, potentially, Ribrianne to super attack several times. After this, we might, I think I'll cut, and maybe we'll come back once we can get Ribrianne to at least, you know, super like 3 or 4 times. I'd like to get it at least once. And as she's doing this, she could begin to stack up a lot, right? Maybe hit like 1,000,000 damage and something like that. The only thing with her, right, the way they designed her, yeah, we're just getting bad luck, is that they built her in such a way where she's overpowered, I think, in events that are not the hardest anyway, right? So it's like Ribrianne gets all these additionals if the enemy can be attacked down, defensive down, if they could be sealed or stunned. What about this? You want to know what? If I could make one change to Ribrianne I think I would do this. Let me know if you guys like this. So what if, so right now she gets the medium chance, or she gets the additional, the medium chance of being a super when the enemy's in attack down or defensive down, or if they could be stunned or sealed. What if they flip it? What if Ribrianne would get the guaranteed additional, the medium chance of being a super, if the enemy is immune to attack down, defensive down, and then immune to stun and seal? That would be good. Because then it's like, alright, Cell Max, Red Zone Broly, Ribrianne can quadruple super, where you really need it, right? Because the thing is that if Ribrianne is already sealing the enemy and debuffing them by 30% attack, you don't really need her to quadruple and triple super as well. She's already completely incapacitating the enemy, along with the Peppy Gal team, which should be very cohesive together anyway. I think, because that would have been good, right? Because then it's like, you know, the full Peppy Gal team, Ribrianne is stronger against these enemies who are immune to her shenanigans, her debuffs. I think that would have worked better. I do. I think that would have been better designed, right? Than like, okay, like it's you're just bullying an enemy that's already like weaker at that point. Okay. So turn 2, she's at 500k defense. I mean, that she does seem to build up a lot faster than I expected, considering she stacks both attack and defense at the same time, right? I mean, we are getting a lot of support on the rotation, right? Kakunsa's supporting and Chi-Chi's supporting. We'll do this turn right here, and then I think I'll skip ahead a couple of turns, and we could see what stats Ribrianne's gotten to. But here we go, right? Like, she's just able to do this, getting all these super attacks in, doing damage, right? Stacking both her attack and defense, so she'll just get stronger and stronger and stronger. Oh, we didn't get the Hidden Potential System additional. We've had terrible luck in this video. That's like, on almost every turn, she hasn't gotten her Hidden Potential System additional. That's so weird. Okay, whatever. Okay, so let's go ahead now, and we'll come back in a couple of turns, and we'll see how things are gonna look. Alright, so we are pretty deep here. Let's go ahead and see what we got. Alright, so Ribrianne on turn 10, we are up to over 1 million defense. I mean, certainly that's pretty good, right? And that's why it's like, Peppy Gals, I'm telling y'all, with just a little bit. I mean, Ribrianne's not going to be getting to 1 million defense on turn 10 in like one of these like really tough fights, because she's not going to be able to super attack as often, right? That's kind of like all those extra additionals she got are just for like Battlefield and stuff like that. But it does show that I do think Ribrianne can be a problem in some of those tough fights, right? So if Peppy Gals gets a proper 200% leader unit, I think Ribrianne could become pretty interesting, actually. I do think so. So let's hope that Peppy Gals gets like a proper 200% leader character, and Ribrianne will be a very strong addition to that team. Because remember, I mean, she's supporting as well. Supporting, attack debuffing, right? Stacking, sealing. She's doing a lot, right? She brings a lot to the table, which makes her very valuable. Overall, I do think that this INT Ribrianne, she is a very decent character for sure. I think she's pretty good. Alright guys, so this is Proudest Moment. Again, so I guess it's a little bit weird. I mean, we could go over her, like, pre-transform state. Like, she does have some stuff here, like different name to her passive and stuff like that. We might as well cover it, right? So this is Brienne de Chateau. Her leader skills, Peppy Gals and Transformation Boost Key 350% of stats. That, of course, is the same after she supers. Her super attack is the Big Amour, which stacks attack and defense, does supreme damage, and seals super attack. That also remains the same after she transforms, although the name of it changes, right? Her passive skill, dude, the strongest passive in the game, man. Power of Love explodes. Sweet flowers bloom on the battlefield, and the power of love explodes. It just doesn't get stronger than that, bruh. That's it right there. That's the peak. Her she of course transforms upon entering attacking turn. She's a turn 1 transformation character, right? Her link set is Battlefield Diva, Metamorphosis, Innocence, Signature Pose, More Than Meets the Eye, Tournament of Power, Shattering the Limit, 12 kill multiplier, 135%. Actually a tad low. Typically these types of characters are at 140%. And then remember, our girl is on a number of category teams here, but the problem is that she really wants to be run on Peppy Gals. I don't know that a lot of these teams are going to have like a huge amount of Peppy Gal characters, right? So of course she's here on Peppy Gals. This is the team we want to run her on. She's also over here on the Universal Survival Saga. I mean, there is definitely a few options we can get to. in terms of Peppy Gal characters, but you're probably not running her on here. She is on Transformation Boost as well. Again, probably not a spot for this Ribrianne, but we'll see in the future. She's also on Special Pose, so Int Ribrianne will be doing increased damage against Cell Max very soon, which is funny. Could Ribrianne help in that fight? Maybe. Maybe she could. And then finally, there is the Space Traveling Warrior team. I guess there are a couple of Peppy Gal options we could bring onto here, right? Fascia and stuff like that, but for the most part, you are pretty much just going to be using this Ribrianne on the Peppy Gal team, right? And then, of course, remember, she has her transformation, which she will do as soon as the fight starts, right? From here, her super attack changes, her passive changes, but her links do remain the same, right? So her super attack now becomes the Pretty Cannon, which stacks attack and defense, does supreme damage, and seals enemy super attacks. That's pretty good. Her passive skill, True Strength, hidden in an adorable form. She gets 140% attack and defense at the start of turn. Then she gets an additional 20% attack and defense, and all enemies get minus 10% attack and defense up to 30% per Peppy Gal category allies on the team, right? So she wants a full Peppy Gal lineup, and then she can, you know, lower the enemy attack as well as getting her max buffs, right? She gives Peppy Gal category allies 2 key and 30% attack and defense. And then finally, she gets a guaranteed additional as a medium chance of being a super if the enemy is in attack down or defensive down status, or if the enemy is stunned and sealed. So she gets super attack 4 times with that ability. And then there we go. That is basically this Ribrianne. Again, on a proper 200% leader skill team and, you know, Peppy Gal unit, I think that this Ribrianne could be a solid option. She could help out in a number of different content. I think she would have been a lot better if her additionals were activated in the toughest content, not the content where you don't need it. That's the one thing, right? Like, if she could get those additionals against Red Zone Broly and Cell Max and stuff like that, I think she would be quite a bit better. So, let me know what you guys think of Ribrianne. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.